Hello everyone. During this video, I would love to do readings or questions, intuitive readings or healing for the ones that attend live. I was already live and then internet make us a trick. I will give you guys a few minutes and ask that whoever it is in the highest and best to be present today. That healing, that questions can come through with ease and grace and in the highest outcome for all. I will give few minutes for Facebook to share to me your questions. If you have a question from your guys, it's better that you do it, you have an intention, and we have a storm where I am. Give me a second. I am checking if I am already live, and I think I am. And thank you so much. Pineda, I have been a little bit busy with my own shadow, and then I got sick last week, flu, and I haven't been able to reply to you, but I will check on the weekend what dates we could do the podcast, and then hopefully I guess in March. And let me see, I see that someone asked that I cannot see it from here. Okay, Bineta is asking for some healing, and Joanna asked for any messages. Okay, and then I'll go with Andrea. Okay, for Joanna, when I tune into your aura, it looks like purple and it looks like beaming, like a beacon of light, but like a huge one. I think you must be doing some healing on yourself, going through some healing, and the healing that you're going through, it must be some old, or maybe related to the past, or maybe older lifetimes. And what you guys are saying, it's place your awareness into your hopes and your dreams and move forward so you can attain your desires. I hope that makes sense. And for the ones that are just arriving here, I will do readings, light language or healing for the ones that attend live. The more specific your question, the better it is. Well, the most accurate it is with what you're looking for, because the answer is always what is needed and for the highest outcome for all. But sometimes it's not the answer that we want to hear, or it's not the answer that we're looking for, and guides could be too general or too yes, how do I say that? Once I had entities and I was very upset, and I had entities over and over and over and over, and I was mad, and I remember that I was frustrated and inside tired. Shout out Archangel Michael, and then I said, what do? I was desesperated, and then he was all calm and peaceful and say something like, when light shines bright, darkness no longer exists. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? I mean, I wanted to have I wanted an answer that was an answer that I could get from a friend, like you should do this and that, but sometimes guys want that maybe give you predictions from what it happened to you before, right? Very scarcity or limitation mindset. And then we have another voice that's our instinct. Our instinct will be automatically and normally is biologically like an impulse. Like for example, let me say that I'm walking the street and then a car may run over me, so I will just move without thinking, right? So the voice from spirit, I think from my experience, is a voice that's very gentle. We'll have it in our own intuition, in our own thinking, in our own feelings, but we have to discern because we also have the voice of our ego. We have other person's voices sometimes that give us their beliefs, or we purchase their agendas, and then we have a lot of things in our field that normally we don't visualize, and probably that it's a good thing. And let me see. Okay, Andrea, and I'm going to do a little bit of light language for you and for whoever needs healing in a few minutes. And Andrea, she's asking that her awakening process began past November. Since then, I have psychic abilities open up in so many ways. And then she says, well, look, that's awesome that your psychic abilities awaken that quickly. Normally, I know persons sometimes in sessions that have awoken 10 years ago or 20 years ago and they haven't awoken the third eye. Psychic abilities, that's actually a very good question. We'll have them, but we'll have them in a different degree, not better or lower, but just because we are different. And for example, your third eye opening will come in different way for everyone. Some people see auras, other people don't see auras, but they see glimpses or faces or things. So it's a good thing to connect and explore your inner universe and then discover in which way through your psychic senses spirit connects through you and how you could use it. You could use it because it will be connected to a part of your personality that you are good at it, that it's easy for you, or that you like to do, or that makes you feel happy to do that. Like for example, I have a friend and she's an organizer for spiritual persons, like for events and stuff. And she is like very bossy and she likes to be telling people what to do. And then she's like very workaholic. So she's perfect for the job because it's like a lot of things to do. And sometimes people need some sort of direction and she's good at it, right? So it's her way to work the light, helping others to organize. You will have to choose your way. In a way that feels good for you. Sorry for that. Trust your intuition, go with the flow, but explore through your own journey, because sometimes people will tell you, I will tell you from my experience, but you have to go through your own experience. Let me refresh this so I can have. Give me a second. Let me refresh these so I can have your questions. Okay, this is better. I hope that serves. And for questions, if you have a specific answers, the best. If don't, we can just go with the flow. And Joanna says she has been doing a lot of healing, light language, etc. That's amazing. Georgina, good morning. And let me see. Horrible cough, Joanna says. I had a cough going. Me too. But I feel great. Thank God. And Sharon, thank you for being here. I would like to get some course with an ex who is stalking me. Okay, we can do that in the light language and then ask for healing, and then I'll go the rest of the questions. Okay, let's do healing and cut course at the same time. Whether it's a person, a situation, or ancestors, or something that you feel it's blocking you, or holding you, or attaching you, okay? And at the same time, it will be healing, and you can set your intention to receive whatever that you need. We'll just few minutes, and then I'll go the rest of the questions, as many as I can. I'll drink a little bit of water first. Let's take a deep breath. And as you breathe in, imagine, create a sensation that you bring white light. That will be prana, life force, source, Holy Spirit, whatever you call it. And try to feel and expand your chest, your heart when you do that. And when you exhale, set the intention to release whatever that doesn't apply to you. I'm going to do a little bit of water and invoke whoever it is in the highest and easiest and best to come through and assist us today. I would like to ask your higher self to speak all as one, and my higher self to please get all aside so I can be a clear channel for unconditional love and pure source consciousness. To Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael. Greetings. You are placed in a space of love and light, surrounded by angels that we gather together to assess today, to infuse angelic codes and release cords, blocks, hooks, energy attachments, or anything that it's ready to be released. We ask you to find a point of connection. Mi kesakova te lichva setes kirako ti ish vasi hervav tike ta asaki ashka. And as you do, you'll be guided to 3 parts of your aura where cords, attachments, blocks will be released. Trust your intuition, what you sense, what you know. Maketa saketa kuti va tinna de susa ti erishna. Bah leftes vateki mer nira. Lech vadekira tursare kirti eshna. In the first deep breath, you will receive an infusion of the source, and in the out breath, you will release the first chord. Bita akita sata di tarate tiarake di esarieshniava. Breathe up and down and adjust. And the next breath, when you breathe the light in, place yourself in the second location. And as you breathe out, release. Bite tinzi rateshmash kine kavhali tas ishtash va te la desishniava. Now, when you breathe the next time, place yourself in the third location. And when you breathe out, release. Bishnaf nergit vatets ra nirik tria bate ti eshkiv me zira zaravatir mishminia va vi vatetir katavati aze tekira tir ishtia. Now breathe up and down. Kitavate sakita ko tajira terasa tati ti eshkivati teriteriashta. Kind of Raphael here. You're invited to sit in your heart and let it open. And as you do, you will receive a download, energetic download, a dispensation for what you need now, not more, not less. Prepare yourself to hold the space, and as you do, begin to receive. Breathe up and down. The transmission is complete. Thank you. I felt like they wanted me to sing. And I was like, no. I hope that helps. Let me see. Devin Richards is asking, could you help? I'm having trouble telling the difference in your health issues and Ascension symptoms. Look, it's hard to discern because they are connected. They are Ascension symptoms, but they're also biological issues. So address both in whatever way you can. Ascension symptoms is not that they affect us because it's an injustice or how do I say that? The light will attack the dark like the dark to the light. So sometimes when we feel attacked, it's not that the darkness is attacking you, it's that the light is breaking dark to come in, and that hurts in our body because the body is physical. Well, with a microscope it isn't. We'll see the atoms and the neutrons and the protons and all that stuff, But the rules here is that we have a vessel that's biological, that is physical, and that structure in the rules of this reality says that it needs certain time to be adjusted and to change, when in reality we're manifesting these every second. But it's the rules here, and those rules are like, if you're going to play a game, if I'm doing domino, I cannot use chess rules, because chess has rules, domino has another rules, Monopoly has another rules, cards has another rules, right? So in this reality, we have a physicality rule. We are bound to be physical unless we ascend. Because when I ascend and you ascend and we all ascend, the shift will be here. So those rules are here in our programming. But that programming is in our mind that maybe we don't know whatever it is. I assimilate it in my brain. But the brain is what translates the programs that came from your DNA and whatever was given by your family biologically. But that energetic patterns will have emotion and will have patterns, will have a psychic geometry, and that psychic geometry manifests instantly the physicality, the biology that we have. And if those programs says, I can grow a tail like a reptile, maybe I can grow another teeth like when I was a baby, but it appears as if I cannot, because my programming says I cannot do that. And it took us a while. Sometimes it shouldn't, because we create our own rules. But sometimes we test ourselves and go back and forth to change our programming, because we go from layers. You heal that one, let's say that you cut cords with your ex, but then collectively Venus it's going to enter, and then we have new moon, and then the collective is working relationships, and maybe I do have another layer that I didn't saw before, but now it's coming up to be released, and then it will appear as if I went back and then feeling messy, but it's not that I am less knowledgeable or ready than before. It's just that it surfaced so we can just release it. And I think this is what happens to you, Devin. It's Ascension symptoms, but it's through your biologically structure, and they're both interwoven. It's yours, it's single, but at the same time it's collective, because you are connected to everything. You are all of us, I'm all of you, and we're all one. I hope that makes sense. This is how codes I see them. One thing is to feel things, but then when you see them and then you feel them, sometimes what I read, like, it doesn't make sense. And sometimes I can put the links together, the connections, because it's the rules here. The rules here is that our mind doesn't have the capacity yet. We gradually expand it so we can multidimensionally understand different things at the same time. So thank God we have time, because time gives us a space to say, hold on, just this life. I don't want to have 15 lives all at the same time, because I get confused. And I think this is why some people get schizophrenia or something like that, because I think they're in between lifetimes, or maybe multiple personality. Or in a channeling, guys, we're saying that the person had Alzheimer's because before transitioning, it wanted to address certain things from the past that were felt like guilt or shames or things like that, but the consciousness couldn't handle. It was too traumatic, and it was better to have Alzheimer's and go back a type of a state of innocence, kind of going back and forth, and sometimes I know who I am, sometimes I don't know. So it could do a live review. It was a sort of like doing an exam with the book of knowledge next to you. I don't know if that makes sense. And I was like, interesting. I never saw that perspective. Yes, so surrender to what you're going through. I think you have to work on your life force. What you sleep, what you drink, your food, what you do. I think is what you're being asked to work, sort of diet. I don't know how are your habits, but it feels like your energy is very high frequency, Devin, because you're a starseed, and your light, it looks like a diamond. You have a lot of light on it. Sometimes when souls are in a very, very high frequency, their biological structures sort of crash because it's like, oh, this is too much, I can't handle. And we'll have certain things, but it's not that you are doing something wrong or anything. It's just we have to adjust here. I hope that makes sense. And let me refresh here. Like, for example, for me, I know I got sick. I get sick because I think I'm upgrading my personality. I feel like I'm on the edge of something very new, and there are parts of Gretel that are ready to be released. So I needed to give myself a week not to work barely and just like to hold the space and my presence. But at the same time, I'm doing the priestess training, and this week we're working about the heart. So I was kind of forced to practice by giving love to myself and practicing self-love because I had the flu. I hope that makes sense. So everything is connected. Not everything will make sense because it's part of the rules. It's part of the dream. Okay, Debbie is saying, I'm having horrible chest pains, trying to figure out. There is some blocks on your heart that you're releasing already. Breathing exercises maybe will help, and then in the channeling of this week on the priestess, the guy said that you could massage your heart and then release emotions. Hopefully that helps. Nicole, good to see you. Any message for me relating to relocating? Well, Nicole is sharing that she's having a hard time knowing in what area to move and if she should rent or buy the house. It feels like it's not the moment yet, Nicole, to know that, because everything is moving. You have to wait, and you will know in which area to move because it will be easy. That house, whether you rent it or buy it, because you could do both, will be just kind of like show up for you. The opportunity will come through. I don't know if that makes sense. But trust, I think next month you will have more clarity about that. It feels like beginning of March, you will know. Use your intuition, trust your intuition. Italar, hermosa, espero que estés bien. Well, she's saying that in her early morning, she has information about her twin, but she's not sure about it. Okay, look, I don't know what you receive, but it feels that what you receive, it's sort of an energetic clearing or recalibrating you did in your soul in the astral. It's not sort of true in this lifetime, but it's connected. So don't try to be very detailed like FBI agent about what was it and how it's going to happen and how it will serve me. Just let it be, because you will be working relationships with yourself and your spirituality and your twin and your family and all relationships. It feels like all this following months, probably until the summer. I hope that helps. This is why I feel, Itala. It feels like your guy said, like, what you saw, it's a piece of what happened, not actually linear or tangible in a way that you remember, but it's already done. It was like a clearing or cleansing or re-upgrading the contract. Andrea, well, you're asking what type of star seed are you? Well, look, I know you have Andrea Andromeda, and it will seem pretty obvious, but the first thing that came to my mind, it was Sirius. And of course you have Andromeda, and you have aspects of your starseed like from other galaxies that are close to this one. Probably not very common for us to speak about them, but like Sigmas, Polaris, I have Avians, and then Haitians, and you have Tau Ceti too, and Centurions. Oh God, that was interesting. Let me see. Energetic adjustment of healing. Well, I hope you receive already, but let me see. Kata. Finding security. That's what you guys are saying. Observe your emotions and free the ones that feels heavy. Casey, greetings. She says, a lot of has changed recently, and I feel I may be on the verge of a breakdown. Wondering if there is anything that you can read energetically. Yes. Casey, it feels like a new sense of direction. It feels like I'm being given towards like knowledge and wisdom. I think it has to do with your spirituality or your path as a light worker more than your 3D life. I don't know what do you do, but it feels like it has to do with your mission as a light worker, your spiritual mission. I hope that makes sense. Kyla, Vanessa, Vargas, thank you for being here. Hello, any messages from me, please? Restructure the things you do and the way you feel you are, especially related to work and health. It feels like this is where you are. I don't know if that resonates with you. Let me know. Sherry, she says, or he, I don't know if it's a feminine or masculine, I would very much like to create a space in my life to choose me, to cut myself first, free overwhelm, free bold demands. This is something very common in spiritual persons. There is a tendency to be givers. I have been there and I'm still learning. Go one step at a time, from my experience. Sometimes love would have a no word attached, and sometimes love will have a yes word attached. And every day, choose to do something for you. You can still keep doing things for others, but equally do things for you. And something that I practice for myself, because I'm a giver too, is as a Virgo, I plan the things that I will do. I'm messy and organized at the same time. I think I'm a messy Virgo thanks to my mom. And I'm always looking for getting organized because I'm messy, right? So in my task, I add things for myself. Like, I don't know, going to get a massage, going for a coffee with a friend, going out, or sleeping, or watch, I don't know, Grey's Anatomy, or something that I just buy to do that. That's one thing. But another is I tune in and I set energetically that I receive and receive and receive. Kind of like giving self-Reiki to myself. I don't know if you have ever tried that, but you can do it. We can do it in a minute if you want to, very quickly. You breathe on the front part of you and create a sensation that's open, like if you have no door, no part of this vessel, and then you begin to absorb life force from the field, from the source that is around you. And imagine you begin to fill in your cup. And imagine that you can bring more and more and more, or less and less. You choose how much you would like to receive. And look for a sense of connection, a type of feeling, knowing, tingling sensation, anything that says it's happening, it's real. And when you get that, what if you don't get anything? It's okay. Then you could ask, if I could know a proof, physical proof, I'm receiving healing, and my guides are here with me, I'm supported, and all is well, how would that feel to me? And just pretend you know. And then do it from the left, the right, the back, above and below. And from your heart, or your belly, or your root, or your throat, whatever you think is the weakest spot in your aura, imagine that you have a sort of a magnet that begins to unify all of the light. And another thing that I do is I collect the light like I have given away. Sometimes I say to my higher self, can I collect all the pieces of me that I left behind? And then I just call the light that can come to me with ease and grace instantly. And then I sort of have a mantra. I give away all that doesn't belong to me. And I call upon all that's mine by birthright. And that's it. And whenever I remember, I do this 3, 4, 5 times, 3, 5 minutes. When I do yoga every day almost. When I do yoga, I self-heal. If you know Reiki yourself. A lot of people know Reiki. Do you practice? Do you do Reiki? Well, no, I did like 20 years ago. It doesn't work. Did you practice? No. Well, then that's why it doesn't work. Reiki is easy, it's simple. It's like the basic of healing. I don't know how to do Reiki, Gretel. Then meditate. Whoever you like. A meditation, healing. Treat yourself like you are in a healing spa. I can meditate. I'm always thinking. Then don't meditate. Go for a walk. Go to a park. Gaze a candle. Use oils. Whatever works out for you. I don't know what to do, but I like to draw. Then draw. I like to write, then write. Whatever that helps you to be in a sort of connection, then that it is what I think we should be doing more and more and more. And I think I have time for one more question, and I'm going to... I hope that helps, Michelle. Thank you for being here, Debbie, Italar, Andrea, Joanna, Georgina, Binera. Let me see if I have any last question. Cryan, thank you for being here. Bernita, thank you. Michelle. One more question. What to do when someone pushes you something that is not loving? You try to respect personal boundaries. Well, that's sort of related with what we were saying about yes and no, right? Even if it's someone from your family or your partner or your kid or someone you feel you must do that. This is an example I learned when I studied psychology. I didn't finish the career, but I studied psychology a few years ago. I remember that it was an example about boundaries that I purchased from a teacher. She said, if a house is burning, who am I gonna save first? Me? My kid? Am I gonna call the fireman? What am I gonna do, right? If I run to help my kids, and I don't put a mask, maybe no one will be safe because I will suffocate with the smoke and we'll all die. But if I get the mask first and prepare myself and maybe put a wet blanket or something, I can go and have my kids while the firemen come and assist. Yeah, this sort of metaphor. We're here to help each other, but I'm in charge of this. Michelle is in charge of Michelle, Binera, and Cryan. This is my responsibility, who I'm meant to explore and expand and master in my own unique way. And at the same time, while I do that, I can learn with you guys along the way, because none is above me or below me. We're all equal, or wouldn't be here. Whoever says, I'm a fifth dimension, you are not toxic person, that's not true. You are here with me, it means we're matching frequency. We're all equal. We'll learn from what others do. Sometimes we feel inspired by them. I would like to do that. I admire that from that person. Sometimes we said, oh my God, I don't want to do that. I don't like that ending. And that's a good thing. But mainly, I'm here for myself. Not even for my kids, because I cannot breathe from them. I wish I could make choices on behalf of them. But I can. All I can do is do the best I can. And I have learned with kids that is through the example. Because I can say a lot of things to them. But if I don't do if I'm not coherent with what I preach, I will notice that they will begin to do the same distorted patterns that maybe I got from my mom or from my family or whatever. But when I change with my behavior, I notice that they change. I began learning that 2 years ago. What I'm doing different with my kids that I didn't do before awakening, I was doing everything for them, like super protective mother, but now I allow them to fall because I'm still here. But I want them to know that I may not be always next to you, but if you know how to resolve your problems, if you know how to have logic and common sense and think for yourself and work things out, getting your pieces together, then I think I am a good mom. I don't know if that makes sense. So sometimes we help others by assisting them because they're on the weeds, they need us. But sometimes we help them by not helping them. Because when you don't help them, they are pushed to something by themselves. And people sometimes get lazy, you get used to. Because others can be so efficient by doing things that why do you have to make the effort, right? You will know when you say yes and give extra of yourself, when you feel guided. And you will know, your intuition will let you know when you should say, no, I don't allow to this. Like for example, when I went to Venezuela in 2000, I guess, I need to pay amount of money for someone to give me a space in the university so I could continue study psychology. I couldn't enter by the right process because my degrees were Mexican, not Venezuelan, and I need to pay someone to get it. So my father was paying like corruption to get things easier, but I didn't want it because it was against my morals and principles. And I said, I prefer not to study than go and be in something that was corrupted, right? That's me. We all make those choices. But when something is distorted, like a corruption act, and we participate for some reason, we become part of that distortion. And every other aspect of me, the Atlantean one, the Arcturian one, the shadow one, the Gypsy, the one that was burned in the stick, or whatever, we're all connected. When I do things right for myself, that goes instantly to all other parts of me, including my kids and the ones that are going to come later. Yes, even if I feel like I'm failing and I'm a mess and I don't know what to do, maybe that is what's helping others not to fall into the path that I have. I don't know. We're all different. Remember, this is a duality path and things change. But no matter what we think, it happens because this is an illusion. Pleiadians are an illusion, demons are an illusion, angels are an illusion. It's all part of the illusion. It all will be always in divine order because this source is source because the light and the dark unified and become one. Even if I don't understand it or have all the answers, and that's fine. So sometimes we will know, sometimes we won't know, and that's fine too. But go back to your intuition, go back to what feels right, and one step at a time. I may not know what I need to do tomorrow or next year, or if I need to move or not, but today what I will do for me, for my alignment, because I want to feel good, because I want to be healthy, because I want to be happy, because I want to support my community, what I can do. Maybe I can have my garden clean, right? Maybe I can, I don't know, take the shed of the dog or something. sometimes it's simple things we could do. Maybe I could donate, maybe I cannot donate, but maybe I can help with my presence. Maybe I can write something. Maybe I'll do some act of kindness. Acts of kindness are a beautiful thing to do if we can, but not on top of your own security. I can give as long as this cup is full, and from whatever overflows, I can give to the others. But I cannot give if I'm empty, because I'm taking that for myself. And it's not about what you give to others, it's about what we give to ourselves. That's what I think. Go with your intuition. I hope this was helpful. For the ones that have been asking me to the light language course, the level 1 and 2, we're going to start during the March equinox. It's going to be, I think, 59 monthly for 6 months. It's going to be a certification, and it's brand new material, especially level 2 is going to be coach and healing, and level 1 light language. You will have one-on-one classes with me, Zoom classes, and pre-recorded videos, and I'm excited to go through. Have a beautiful rest of your week. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Bye-bye.